Okay. Oh, great. Now it wants to install map point. Beautiful.
What?
It's in a continuous install loop for map point 06.
Map point?
All I did was click start presentation. I hate your laptop. Did it come up? Are we good?
Yes.
Where are your speech notes?
In the same directory in my documents.
No. Where are they on here?
Oh, I don't know.
Why does it? Do you want to grab mine quick? It's on there.
Your what?
My laptop.
Where is it?
Just quick, grab it. It's on Hibernate. It's already set up. I don't know why the hell you do this. You pester the crap out of me because your laptop sucks. I swear I want a sticker for mine that says this is not my boyfriend's laptop because this sucks. I do. I'm just going to stick yours over here. Mine's got enough battery in it. Grab your supplies plugged in under the desk. We have to get you Office 07. I swear to God, we're getting you Office 07.
I'll settle for a decent laptop with a decent BIOS.
Keep it up. You'll get one for Christmas, dude.
Is that a promise?
If you keep up your good behavior and I get a job, you can have a laptop for Christmas. So you better start finding people to hire me. You can have a laptop for Christmas.
We'll talk about
How's that? Is that a good deal or what?
Stick this in because I got notes on here.
Oh. Well, the notes are in the slide, remember?
My other notes are here.
Oh.
I copied them off while you were in the shower.
And then leave it there. Just leave the cap here. It was on the desktop a second ago. Dude, it was right there. I'll pull it off that. There's no screensaver on this.
Okay.
And it advances the same way.
Okay.
And I put it on bright so you can see what you're doing.
Okay.
I love you dearly, but I hate your laptop. Tell me when it comes up.
It's a blue screen at the moment.
Yeah, it's blue. It needs to be a bullet hole. Do we see a bullet hole?
Yes.
We have bullet hole. Great.
From a Starbucks in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
I took it.
Yeah, the natives are restless.
I swear I'm getting you Office 07. Tonight, you will have Office 07.
I already have it.
On your
Just not
laptop.
installed.
Oh yes, you will. Trust me, you will. Second monitor, current resolution, from the beginning. Go. There's your speech notes. You can zoom as required by your vision. There will be a scrolling bar if you need it. And there's your advanced slide button with a little arrow. You can draw on it if you want.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Jill. Now just give me a moment here while I set some other things up.
Yeah. As long as you don't drag anything into the right-hand pane,
Right.
that will stay up.
Okay.
It shouldn't do anything funky.
Okay. My apologies to the lateness here. I'll get started here momentarily.
Turn the volume off. I don't know if it's going to make any noises. There, it's off.
Whoops. Cancel that thought. There we go. That's the other one. That was the wrong one anyways. That's what I get for having betas. Okay. Hello everybody. My name is Smoke. Or at least so I think. 2 years ago, I had a third-party conference over in what is now the Zoomer room, Zeus, describing some ideas I had at that time involving an idea I called at the time Democracy 2.0. Basically, it involves a thought experiment at the time that to build an electronic voting infrastructure that is securable and open from the get-go, from the start, and to build it that way. And so far, there's people coming closer even today, but still need some work yet. First, we'll start with an abridged history of past election technologies and the vast diversity between them. As a whole, the only way you can develop a newer, more secure voting platform is to gain a full understanding of the current and past methods of the problems associated with them. There have been numerous and diverse methods used in the past, starting with paper-based electronic voting systems or document ballot voting systems. Started out as a system where the votes were cast and counted by hand using physical paper ballots. With the advent of electronic tabulation, this evolved into a system of hand-marked paper ballots counted electronically. Direct record electronic voting system record using a ballot displayed through a mechanical or an electrical optical component that's activated by the voter through a button or a touch screen. This kind of system produces data using a computer and records votes as digital images in its memory. Post-election, it produces a tabulation of the voting data that has been stored in its removable memory device as a printed copy. This system gained popularity in 2002 due to the Help America Vote Act mandate that one handicapped accessible voting system be provided per polling place. Most jurisdictions satisfied that with the use of a DRE, and some opted to switch over entirely. By 2004, 30% of registered U.S. voters used some kind of DRE system. A public network DRE is a DRE that transmits vote data from individual polling places to another location via a public network, the internet. Real good idea. Vote data can be transmitted both as each ballot is cast periodically as lumps of ballots through the election day or as one complete batch at the end of the voting day. We know how well the security of the internet is here. In Switzerland, however, this is an established part of local referendums where voters have passwords assigned to them to access ballots through the Postal Service. In Estonia, people cast their votes, if they choose to, can use an e-voting system via the internet. Voters are given specific days they can vote during, and using a national ID card equipped with a microchip are able to get access to an online ballot using a card reader and a government-assigned PIN number. Optical scan voting systems work similar to Scantron systems, where voters darken an oval and feed their ballot into an optical reader, which then identifies which circle was filled in and adds it to that candidate's total. I'll break from the speech here for a moment to mention I did hear the talk yesterday on hacking democracy and how easy it is to defeat that. Now we go about with the now that we know some of the different systems that are available in the U.S. and Europe, we can discuss some of the companies that provide them for our use. Diebold Election Systems has had some scandals in the past related to their voting machines. Election systems made by Diebold are responsible for tallying approximately 80% of the votes cast here in the U.S. Their GEMS Central Tabulator software, version 1.18.15, counted most of the votes in the 2004 presidential election and was the center of controversy related to apparent voting irregularities. In 2006, Diebold made the decision to remove their name from the front of voting machines to help boost voter confidence. Imagine that. In August 2007, the company tried to reinvent themselves to voters and changed their name to Premier Election Solutions. Sequoia Voting Systems is one of the largest providers of electronic voting machines here in the U.S. Sorry, I'm not used to speaking in public. They are the chief competitor to Premier, and they were the first to introduce voter-verified paper audit trails in the U.S. The company was purchased by Smartmatic on March 8, 2005, and they claim the world's only fully secure and fully auditable voting technology today. Related to that is the fact that Sequoia Voting Systems was implicated by former employees in the Hanging Chad scandal by rumors of intentionally manufacturing poor paper ballots destined for West Palm Beach, Florida. Election systems and software is the result of a merger between American Information Systems Incorporated and Business Records Corporated in 1980. At the root, they are owned by the Omaha World Herald Company, publisher of Nebraska's largest newspaper. They claim to be the largest manufacturer of voting machines in the U.S. as of 2007, and customers in 1,700 localities. Although they only have 350 employees, they boast revenues of $117 million annually. Senator Chuck Hagel, name rings a bell, was the CEO of ESS up until they produced the voting equipment for the '96 Senate elections. March 2006 U.S. primaries revealed their machines to have poor quality control. Faulty memory cards were cited at the time, had poor quality reporting, and caused problems with election preparedness. The state of Indiana had launched an inquiry into the machines, which were settled when the company paid the state $750,000. West Virginia and Arkansas also had pursued cases against ESS, but the company denied any problem with its machines and cited errant poll workers. Their InkaVote Plus optical scan system was revoked from use in California 5 months after it was initially approved, March 2007 to August 3rd, 2007. Hart Intercivic, one moment. Hart Intercivic is a privately held U.S. company headquartered in Texas that provides election systems, geospatial systems, and print solutions to various jurisdictions. Their equipment is used by 300 jurisdictions nationwide. They are the producers of eSlate, a DRE voting solution specifically designed to accommodate disabled voters by providing a select wheel and digital push-button interface as opposed to a touch screen system. On August 3rd, 2007, their system replaced the InkaVote Plus optical system in California. A December 15th, 2007 report commissioned by the state of Ohio found that one Hart Intercivic system being used in the state had critical flaws that could undermine the integrity of the 2008 general election and were therefore immediately decommissioned until further testing is done. And there are advantages and disadvantages to all these voting machines, and voting machines in and of themselves are no exception. MIT's Charles Stewart estimates that up to 1 million more ballots were counted in 2004 as opposed to in 2000 because electronic voting machines detected votes that paper-based machines missed. Disadvantages. It is being argued that theoretically humans are not equipped to verify operations occurring with an electronic machine, and because of that, the operations cannot be trusted. That is furthered by computing experts arguing that true programmers cannot trust any program they did not author themselves. Under a secret ballot system, there is no known input nor any expected output to compare electoral results, thus accuracy, honesty, and security of the entire electronic system cannot be verified by humans at this day. Because not everything is perfect, and we all know technology is not infallible, there have been certain groups formed and legislation passed to help make life a bit more fair. Electronic voting systems store ballots in digital form in memory. This method is used exclusively by DRE systems. When electronic ballots are used, there is no need to print paper ballots and no risk of running out of ballots, thereby significantly reducing both cost and waste. This also allows ballots to be offered in multiple languages using a single machine, which is required by the National Voting Rights Act of 1965. King County, Washington's demographics require them under U.S. federal election law to provide ballot access in Chinese, which means they need to decide how many Chinese language ballots they need and how many to put at each polling place, thereby wasting a significant amount of paper. The National Voting Rights Act of 1965, also called the Voting Rights Act, outlaws the requirement that would-be voters must pass a literacy test before they can register to vote and provides for federal registration of voters in areas where less than 50% of eligible minority votes registered. This act implies that it establishes an explicit right to vote for U.S. citizens. However, there is no such federal right. For example, ex-felons can't vote. Instead, it grants a fundamental right. The Help America Vote Act, or HAVA, has 3 goals. Replace punch card voting systems with computerized ones, create the Election Assistance Commission to assist in the administration of federal elections, and establish a minimum election administration standards. HAVA mandates that all these states and localities upgrade the aspects of their election procedures, including voting machines, registration processes, and poll worker training. Specifics of implementation have been left up to each state, so there's going to be varying interpretations of federal law. The Americans with Disability Act demands handicapped access be provided in at least one voting booth in every voting precinct. One study done shows that the voting rate among people with disabilities is 20% points less than non-disabled people, because more than 20,000 polling places across the nation are inaccessible, thereby depriving disabled people of their fundamental right to vote. Now, let's try to take a look at a more in-depth look at the newest voting technologies available today and coming in the near future. Prime 3 was developed by the Human-Centered Computing Lab at Auburn University in 2005. It offers a secure, open-source, multimodal electronic voting system which is able to deliver the necessary system security, integrity, and user satisfaction safeguards through a user-friendly interface that accommodates all people regardless of technical ability. It implements what they call the universal design, meaning the product is designed to be used in all environments by as many people as possible regardless of age, ability, or situation. It is designed to be barrier-free, so it can be used by the illiterate, the blind, the deaf, and the physically disabled. PunchScan is touted as the first vote-capturing system to offer fully end-to-end verifiability of election results beyond ordinary paper audit trails. The entire PunchScan election process is said to be so easy it can be summarized on a single printable sheet of 8x5x11 paper. End-to-end cryptographic independent verification is a mechanism built into an election that allows voters to take a piece of the ballot home with them as a receipt. It doesn't allow voters to prove to others how they voted, but only that they have properly indicated their votes to election officials and to verify with extremely high assurance that all votes were counted properly. Scantegrity is an integrity assurance add-on for any conventional optical scan voting system. It gives voters the ability to verify that their votes were recorded and tallied correctly without altering the basic form of the ballot or how the voter uses it. It provides a low-footprint audit companion solution for any current optical scan voting system using special audit symbols, including unobtrusively in the ballot printing, out of the way of the actual ballot information. As you can see by the graphic in the corner, which actually isn't on this slide. I'm sorry? Okay. Did it come up? Oh, sorry. As you will see by the graphic in the corner, more and more people are concerned if their votes are counting or if it's a crapshoot. Some places are putting that concern aside and experimenting with distance balloting. That's the graphic, by the way. The Operation Bravo Foundation aims to foster grassroots exploration and development of practical and reproducible electronic solutions that can significantly improve the overseas absentee voting process. Okaloosa County, Florida is home to over 20,000 active duty military and their dependents. This high concentration of overseas military voters means that the county's elections office is highly motivated to find a better way to manage today's methods of providing timely and effective service to those distance balloting constituents. Numerous overseas voting pilot projects were started throughout recent years, but none of them proved beyond the experimental phase. The intent is to have a new distance balloting system in place by the 2008 presidential election, with the express intention of developing a solution that could be subsequently implemented as a standard election administration process throughout the U.S. A secure and scalable distance balloting environment will be established for up to 900 self-selecting overseas voters who are registered in Okaloosa County. The pilot program will position remote electronic voting kiosks at 3 overseas locations chosen for their proximity to qualified voters in the UK, Germany, and Japan. These kiosks will be open for 10 days prior to the November 4th election and will be administered by county election officials using a proven, transparent, and secure electronic remoting voting technology over a secure VPN connection. The votes will then be delivered to a secure county server for official tally. This means no paper, no mail, no hassle, no waiting, and voters will get a receipt saying your ballot has been cast to prove their ballot was counted. This is our first real concrete mention of true verification via cryptography, in this case using a VPN. Systems that allow voters to verify their vote is recorded and then tabulated with an appropriate mathematical calculation can alleviate concerns that their vote has not been correctly recorded. An electronic receipt signed by the voting authority using a digital signature can conclusively prove the accuracy of the tally but cannot guarantee the anonymity of the voter's choice, which can be an enabler for voter intimidation or vote selling. There are solutions that aim to let the voter verify their vote personally, but a third party wouldn't have that ability. This would be done by tagging each vote with a randomly generated session ID that would allow the voter to check that their specific vote or that session ID, specific session ID, was recorded correctly through a public ballot audit trail. Machines that are able to provide immediate feedback for voters can aid in the detection of undervoting or overvoting, which could result in an errant ballot total. In order to protect against hidden agendas, many groups have called for transparency, and with good reason. The Open Rights Group purpose is to preserve digital rights and their freedoms by making people aware of digital rights issues. They also put journalists in contact with experts, thereby fostering grassroots activists. Their biggest campaigns involve digital rights management, the extension of copyright protection to sound recordings, and e-voting security. The organization was formed based on a panel discussion held at Open Tech 2005 after several people illustrated that there was a serious interest towards change. They are the major forefront in pushing for transparency of voting practices as well as strengthened privacy and human dignity through the opposition of automatic vehicle tracking, communication data retention, and RFID chipping. A complete audit trail should be available in addition to transparency to help prevent potential problems that would otherwise have gone unnoticed. Voter Verified Paper Audit Trail, also called Verified Paper Record or VVPAT, is designed as an independent verification system for voting machines designed to permit voters to check if their vote was cast correctly, which would aid in the detection of election fraud or machine malfunction. However, this has some problems. Videos taken documenting voter behavior during an actual election showed that most voters do not verify their choices. They just take their receipts and throw them away. A manual recount or audit using a VVPAT system is labor-intensive and extremely costly. It is likely to be unaffordable to most candidates. The creator of this, Dr. Rebecca Mercuri, described it in her PhD dissertation as the proposed answer to the auditability question through having the voter machine print a paper ballot or other paper facsimile that can be visibly verified by the voter before being entered into a secure location. This has been commonly referred to as the Mercuri method. End-to-end auditable voting systems provide independent verification through the storage of digital ballots using cryptographic methods. This provides voters with a receipt to allow them to verify that their vote is included in the tally and that all the votes cast were done so by valid registered voters. The receipt would not permit a voter to prove to others who they voted for. The two quotes you see are from a draft written by researchers for the NIST. The first is from the actual draft, and the second is an explanation that was required after some people claimed it could be misinterpreted. Auditing could also be a stepping stone to show if any vote tampering had taken place. The image you see there is courtesy of Diebold's online store, where anyone who so desires can purchase a key to unlock any Diebold Touch voting console. People have had these keys made based on this picture and 2 others found online that give greater detail. Also rumored to work with hotel minibar keys. Inadequately secured hardware can be subject to physical tampering, which includes insertion of foreign hardware. This could allow for man-in-the-middle style attacks, which means that even sealing machines might not be sufficient protection. I'm sure the other talk demonstrated that quite explicitly. Some groups counterclaim that with proper review and testing procedures, they can detect fraudulent code or foreign hardware. They further go on to say that with the inclusion of a proper chain of custody, it would theoretically eliminate the possibility of hardware-software insertion. I don't know if anybody here reads Ed Felton's blog at freedomtotinker.com. Yeah, he posted how many pictures of voting machines in the Trenton area? Some security experts have demanded that voting machine source code should be made publicly available for inspection. Others suggest publishing voting machine software under a free software license like it is done in Australia. In order to thoroughly prevent any and against all the problems that we've discussed, there are methods of certification and testing which machines can go through. Parallel testing involves randomly selecting voting machines on election day and ensuring that they yield the same results when given the same input. In the U.S., there is no mandatory federal certification for voting machines. They leave each state up to policing their own voting machines for validity. The U.S. Election Assistance Commission has assumed the federal responsibility for accrediting voting system testing labs and certifying voting equipment through the Voting System Verification and Laboratory Accreditation Program. Their goal is to independently verify